Good day and welcome to News Briefing Daily on the Defender Nigeria TV. Tuesday, 10th of February 2026. I'm Sumaya Adefaka. Let's get into the news. Our top stories at the hour. A social media controversy erupted on Monday after a self-described APC supporter, George Udom, attempted to incite Yoruba Muslims against northern leadership through a social media post where he questioned whether Fulani is the leader of all Yoruba Muslims of Nigeria. A comment that drew criticism from Muslims and others who affirmed that the Sultan of Sokoto is the recognized spiritual leader of all Nigerian Muslims, regardless of tribe. The Grand Chief Imam of Oyo Land, Sheikh Bilal Akeugberu, has reaffirmed the commitment of Muslims in the state to follow the leadership of the Sultan on all Islamic-related matters. In a statement, he stated that the commencement of Ramadan fasting in Oyo Land would not be declared independently. Meanwhile, democracy activists gathered at the National Assembly complex in Abuja to demand the inclusion of real-time electronic transmission of election results in the amended Electoral Act. Protesters argued that this will strengthen transparency and credibility. They warned that failure to enshrine this provision in law could undermine manipulation in future elections. Also, the Chief Imam of Lagos, Sheikh Sulaiman Oluwatoyin, has stated that this year's Ramadan fast will officially begin only after the Sultan of Sokoto makes the announcement on the sighting of the new moon, reaffirming the Sultan's role as the recognized spiritual head and moon sighting authority for Nigerian Muslims. Prominent constitutional lawyer Dr. Olisa Agbakoba has urged the National Assembly to amend the Electoral Act to include real-time electronic transmission of election results. He warned that failure to adopt this innovation could fuel post-election dispute. He described the ongoing legislative review as a crucial opportunity to prevent another cycle of contested election ahead of 2027. Also in the news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's approval of commercial oil drilling in Ogun State and concerns over delays at the Komani oil and gas field in the north have reignited debate over regional equity in Nigeria. Supporters say the decision is aimed to rebalance economic and political influence to correct decades of perceived northern dominance and create job opportunities in the southwest. Former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode has denied allegations circulating on social media and referenced by activist Omoyele Sowore that he had accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of being involved in the death of late politician Chief Funsho Williams. He described attempts to link him and former critic Ereno Omokri to Sowore claims as absurd. Amid concerns over rising debt and long-term fiscal sustainability, the Senate has affirmed that Nigeria will continue to borrow to finance its 25.91 trillion naira budget deficit. And finally in the news, an opinion piece titled "The So-Called Tolerance in Yoruba Land" critically examines perception of religious and cultural tolerance in the southwest region. It's argued that the widely celebrated narrative of religious tolerance in Yoruba Land deserve a critical and honest examination. It claims that beneath the surface of this often celebrated ideal lies a long and painful history of discrimination against Muslims, particularly in the educational system. And that's all for today's briefing. Don't forget to read the full story on the Defender website at thedefenderngr.com. I'm Sumaya Adefaka. Thanks for listening.